Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Premier Division of SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB, and I'm going to be taking us through tonight's proceedings. As per normal, the craziness has begun earlier on with GP2. If you want to watch that race, have a nose at it later. But I'm not here alone. Fresh from his race in GP2, or this time he had a shower, is Farfbra. How are you doing, my friend? Not Farfbra. It's already started. I'm tired. It's Zippo, everybody.
Good evening.
I get to call yourself Farfbra now, mate.
Please don't.
Okay, so I'll just go through the championship order right now. In first position is Orchard David after scoring not a win, so just being very consistent. Then there's Sayuza in second and Hamilton in third. Mixilius Drama in fourth and Nikos in fifth. Chopper is in sixth and the Gort is in seventh. Honey Badger is in 8th and Carlos is in 9th and Pedal Solheim is in P10. Orchard Sox is in P11, Vim Blank is in P12 and Valakos is in P13. Also Valakos is in P14 here as well, so that's just me being blind. Boo, who is unfortunately not with us tonight, is in P15 and Senna is in P16. Terra Martin, Fredo, Vanquish and Threaten are yet to score points. It seems that they are the reserve drivers. So, Paul, apart from your race, how are you doing today?
Not bad, thank you.
I'm trying to think of a nickname to give you that isn't Farfra, because I know your name is Zippo, and
Just call me Zippo.
yeah, Zippo will do.
Yes,
So,
Zippo will do.
the French Grand Prix circuit. This is our first time out in SpeedForce Racing at this circuit. Well, first time out in Premier. We just had the race around in GP2, and it was the first 10 out of 10 race of the season from both divisions. It had a race for everything. It was wet to dry and a race for the lead, and it made me very happy to watch.
Yes, it did.
So, it's very dry here in qualifying. Let's not get into that because it was partly my fault. Nice curse to the commentator, let's say that.
What happened was I was due to pit that lap, and yeah, the tyre said no more.
Or the curse of the commentator. I mean, you blame me, don't blame the tyres.
I just blame both.
Okay.
Oh, it's a wet to dry race here as well.
Is it? Who told you that?
People on the inside, you see.
What have we got here? I'm getting messages from all over the place right now. Little bit of a mistake between car choices. So Orchard David, this is the McLaren tonight, versus where he should be down in his Sauber. I think there was just a little bit of a confusion with people reminding themselves, and some new drivers forgetting that they are elected, that we are elected cars in this league. We don't just randomly choose them. As Mixilius Drama is the first car on track with Vanquish in second.
So who are we going to go for pole?
Ooh, I don't know. You see, it's a new circuit. So we don't know how everyone's strengths are going to be around here, do we?
Not yet.
So we should be able to tell soon.
After the first round of qualifying, I'll tell you who's going to be on pole.
All right then. Predictions, Zippo.
I'll get it wrong, but I'll try and tell you.
I mean, then again, I didn't expect who was on pole in GP2. If you want to find out who's on that, go and watch the stream. How many times can you plug the stream in one job?
Yes, it was a good race. It was a good race.
I'm getting messages from my friend as soon as I go live. That is unfortunate. So, what is the secret to qualifying around this circuit? Zippo, you've just done the qualifying run round here. What is the secret?
I wouldn't say it's really a secret, but I don't think that the racing lines are really the correct racing lines. There were quite a few turns around here that you can take off the racing line and actually become faster. So obviously the track limits aren't great here. There are quite a few of the corners that you can actually go all over the curbs and not get penalised for it. So I think that's something that they do need to look at going forward. be clean and just nail your lap, really.
It's definitely one that if you get the racing line wrong or you get your line a little bit wayward, like through the little Mickey Mouse sector, as I call it, after the fast right-hander at the end of the long straight,
Yeah,
if you get that wrong, yeah, out of the I think the racing line is sort of best there, because I sort of feel like you lose a lot of time if your car's not positioned right through there.
You do. The last corner, the last two corners are the worst on this track. Absolutely horrible, I think.
But all in all, is it nice to be back at a French Grand Prix?
Yeah, I mean, I actually really like the track.
So do I. I think it's brilliant.
I didn't like it when I first drove it, when the game first came out. Purely because I didn't know the track. But I've got to learn the track, and yeah, I really like it. You can always improve. You're testing yourself constantly. You can always improve. The Mixus drama is round in the last corner now. He almost lost it.
Crosses the line, and that's a 1:30.1.
You know, that's on par with GP2 times at the moment.
Yeah, and what happened at the end of GP2 qualifying was a surprise rain shower that actually...
What is he doing?
What's that?
Did you just see what Mixer's just done?
Well, no, I didn't.
Well, he's obviously not setting another time. He just cut out turn 1, 2, and 3. Just drove straight on to get back to the pits faster.
Drivers are reminded, if you're watching a stream, this goes to both divisions. Don't do that. It is not good. Mark NUFC, the reserve driver, goes fastest with 1:29.5. That is just... It's not... Don't do it. It's just silly.
Yeah, it's not odd. He's either done that to... He's doing it again there. He's just cut even more corners again. I'm staying on board with him currently.
Now, the thing is, if you don't know, Zippo is one of the admins alongside me, and this will be investigated now, because we've been seeing it now at a fair few races. I have asked politely, don't cut the track, and there will be now talks about penalties if you are caught, because
so
it's silly now.
He's recharging his ERS. So he's trying to get round quicker, and there he's just gone... Go on board with him and just watch him.
On board with him now, yeah.
Just keep watching. Every possible chance he's cutting corners. He won't now because he's about to start another fast lap, I reckon.
No, he's in the pit lane.
He's in the pit lane, but he's done that to get to the pit lane faster. It's not on.
It is not, and that will be investigated for the league, because that is not the look we want for the league at all. Any driver caught doing that, we will talk about penalties, but it will not be a low penalty at all. Sorry to start the stream in such a way, but that's the way it's going to go now. We've said it now in public. We've been talking about it in private for a while now. It's getting to the point now that it's frustrating us. Anywho, no, if you don't know the French Grand Prix circuit, this is at Paul Ricard. This was a test circuit built by the namesake Paul Ricard, who wanted to test cars but couldn't afford to do a full F1 season. That's why there's no gravel traps. So the paint is built to slow down the cars. Obviously, if you had gravel, and then it costs a lot more money to extract the car and possibly damage the car than if they have a huge amount of runoff. So it's just quite interesting. And the blue paint designed to slow you down, red paint designed to stop you completely, hasn't really translated into the game, but it's still brilliant to look at.
Carlos has gone faster, 1:29.4.
So Ferrari seem to be having a good turn of pace tonight. So, okay, first round of qualifying is almost over. Do you want to put a thing in? A prediction in?
One of the two Mercs.
Oh, interesting.
So
user
Mercedes on Pearl.
So the 88 car or Sayuza. You're saying Sayuza on pole, are you?
I'm not sure. I'm saying a Mercedes.
Okay.
I feel that Carlos's time is beautiful.
It definitely is. And what we happened in GP2 before the interruption we had earlier was that there was a surprise rain shower that no one predicted. None of the teams had it on the radars at all. As John has left the session, hopefully he can rejoin. And that was quite interesting. Quite unpredictable twist at the end, and hopefully the Prem drivers are going to hope that doesn't actually happen in this league, as they want to have a full-on shootout. See, Hamilton's backed out of his lap at the end. I think no, he's powering on towards the end. Maybe just going for a second lap. Yeah, he's going for a second lap on those tyres.
He invalidated it into turn 1.
Ah, see, you know some more things as I'm looking at Alexius, the new driver in Sauber, Sector 1 yellow flags. What was that?
You're taking a much better line this time.
Sorry, just had to mute my mic because I coughed. I think I wrecked my voice during GP2, which, you know what, I'm partial to be doing, but I really need to remember I do have a stream afterwards. Here's Senna in the Renault closing up, so he's got his teammate Vagort ahead of him, who's also on a fast lap, and that's pretty good though, pretty good tactics for Renault for you know, what's it called, slipstreaming. That's it. The word.
Hamilton's getting quite close to some traffic now, so let's hope they're on their fast laps, doesn't get held up.
Yeah, we saw some evidence of that in GP2. We hope it doesn't. Well, that's a thing, Voids. We have been told that it's going to be a wet start to the race, so we are unsure what everyone's doing right now. It's very interesting as John rejoins. Here on board with Hamilton, he's got Senna. Senna is on a lap. We know de Gort isn't.
So surely de Gort is slowing Senna down though.
Yeah, look at that. Hamilton's going to be absolutely fuming now. Look at that. Yeah, there it is. The weave. You know that happens when drivers say they're annoyed about that one.
Yeah, I'd be quite annoyed by that as well.
Yeah, we saw a more violent version of that happening in GP2, which I assume the stewards will be looking at as well. Meanwhile, on board with Nikos right now, who's been taking, who's going through the little early Mickey Mouse section, as I call it. See what Disney had a hand in designing this track as well. Or one of its, like, I think it's got like 150 configurations, this track. I think that'd be great to change it every season, wouldn't it?
It would be, actually, yeah. I think the track's got a lot more potential. It's a great track, but I don't see why they need a little kink in the back straight. I don't think it's needed.
That's a shame. Weren't they talking about taking it out a few times during the racing?
Yeah, I think it needs to be done. Hamilton's actually coming up to the back of Gort now, so it looks like the Gort has actually picked up the pace a little bit.
Definitely, yes. Sector 3, there's a lot of yellow flags, and that is down to a Toro Rosso going slowly. I think that's Vin Blank.
Hamilton, did he run out of fuel?
Let's have a look.
Is he getting out of the way of people? I hope he is.
Yeah, Vin Blank's starting his lap now. Yeah, he's getting out of the way. He's sat in 4th gear. I think he's...
See, that's not getting out of someone's way though, is it?
No, and that...
I'm sorry, but that's coming from an admin.
Yeah. Frustrating.
Frustrated from what's happened in F1 from Senna, but it's just not needed.
No, it's not on. Drivers are reminded that track limits are in effect even if you're on a fast lap or not. We don't want to have to check everyone's qualifying laps all the time. We shouldn't have to. You're grown-ups in cars. Yeah.
So User's still sat in the garage though. He's not. He's been quite late if he's coming out, unless he's not going to set a lap. But it'd be very weird that if he doesn't set a lap.
It would be. It's very interesting. With 5 minutes left to go in the session, Nikos is on pole position ahead of Carlos GB, who's on track now to try and defend that. Then there's Mark NUFC in 3rd and Peter Solheim in 4th. Vanquish in 5th and Futo in 6th. South Warriors is in 7th. That sounds like a football team. And Mixilius Drama is in 8th. Hamilton is in 9th and John is in the top 10. Outside of the top 10 is Vin Blank, and then it is Stam, Valakos, F1 Senna, the Gort, Orchard David, who's on stream now, it looks like we're getting a lot of lag off this Toro Rosso. Then there's Alexios in P18 and Ciuza, who hasn't yet set a lap time. It seems that looks like John in the Toro Rosso. Yeah, it is. He's lagging quite heavily.
You need to sort that out. I was just going to call it carnage.
Yeah, he is. Just keep an eye on him, will you, Paul? So now drivers getting ready. This is sort of a time you need to start thinking, okay, I want to go out for either 2 runs at this point. See, okay, I've called it on the stream now. This is South Warriors completely cutting out. Now, that is completely out of order right there. Completely out of order.
What's he done there? Has he just cut that whole sector?
Entire sector out. Completely out of order, and that will be, I think that's going to be a penalty. Completely. I don't care if you're on a fast lap or on a slow lap. Completely out of order.
He's on the wrong car anyway.
Yeah, again, there was confusion with it with cars. That should be Orchard David in that car, but it isn't tonight because...
What's confusing though, when team the drivers and what cars are in was put in the chat about 5 minutes before the confusion started, and people not read.
This will be taken on to the stewards after the race. We're going to try and have an entertaining race now afterwards. We've had a little moan, and the stewards are all going to be interested.
Yeah, John is just all over the place.
Yeah, I think maybe it's the... Yeah, I hate to say this, maybe it's a question of asking him to leave for this event until his internet improves.
How do we get a message to him? I mean, that is just... Go on board with him, I mean...
Yeah, I'm looking at him now. That's heavy lag. It's choppy and changing.
Right, go on board with Stan, please.
He was on a fast lap as well before. We shouldn't have to check everyone's laps. Come on.
I know what I would do if this was my league. I know exactly what I would do with all of these drivers right now.
Is that words you can't mention on stream?
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Okay. I'd be disqualifying every single one that I've caught from the race right now.
I have placed a message in the chat warning all the drivers this will be looked at now. And it's frustrating. This is Premier Division. You guys are meant to be the best of the best and you're making us look like this. I apologise that this isn't as professional as we would want it to be. I apologise from the admins that these drivers are doing this. This will all be looked at completely. As Mixilius improves to P5, I am very upset with these drivers right now. Very upset. So user is out on track though. Right. We'll have a look at John later on. It seems that his lag's like a little bit calmed down. It might be our connection to him as well. It'd be interesting to see if any. I've just seen a Red Bull driver completely cut through the chicane now. I don't.
That's Stam again, is it?
I have not got a clue right now. Chopper has retired. I am in 2 minds. I'm in 2 minds right now. I'm in 2 minds.
Right, I'm still on board with Stam. Protio is just behind him as well.
I'm in 2 minds, but we're going to attempt to make this the best stream we possibly can. And we do apologise from all the admin teams at SpeedForce Racing about this. And this should not be happening. And I think everyone should understand that this is not happening. This will not continue at all going into the next half of the season. And if this does continue, drivers will be removed from their seats. Unfortunately, I've just seen someone do it in Turn 1 as well. Just because it doesn't give you a penalty does not mean you can do it.
Orchard David is not comfortable with this track or whatsoever. Wasn't in the other league either. Nichols going faster still.
Right.
It's probably
The
closer to
admins
93.
the admins have been discussing, and this has all been talks now, and this will be said live on stream. We've been considering it for a while. We are making this live now. For all of the cutters that are caught in qualifying and in the race, as Hamilton takes pole position, there will be a qualifying ban for the next race. So the drivers currently caught, Mixilius, Stam and South will be banned from qualifying in the next race in Austria. We didn't want to enforce this rule. We thought that everyone would get a bit smart as the season went on, but apparently not. So, that ban has been announced on stream as Hamilton cuts through turn 1. I think that's a ban, even though you're not on a fast lap. Sorry about that, but that's a ban. It's put quite a dampener on qualifying, but we do apologise once more. This is not the standards we have in SpeedForce Racing. This is not the standards that we had when we took over this league, and I'm very hurt these drivers have done this. Very hurt and very angry. I normally try and be as happy and nice as I can be on commentary, but...
So user didn't set a lap time, but I did say a Mercedes on pole. As it stands, a Mercedes is on pole.
It definitely is.
I'm on board with Nikos at the moment as he is coming around the final corner. Can he improve? He's got it. No, he can't. Not with that, he can't.
Oof.
Not anyway.
Polyester flying everywhere as Vin Blank now coming around. Vin Blank aiming to improve on P5 as he comes around. Carlos GB, second. Not enough.
Vin Blank. Staying 5th.
No, just a bit further down.
Qualifying over. Oh, Hamilton is out still, but I assume his qualifying is over yet. He's in the pits. And there we have it.
That is it for a very frustrating qualifying session in Premier Division. Though a Mercedes is on pole, they've book-ended the entire grid. One at the back, one at the front. Maybe Sayuza saw it as wet and thought, you know what, I'd be quicker in the wet. There it is, confirmation. The Lebanese driver on pole position ahead of Carlos GB. In third place is Mark NUFC, the reserve driver, ahead of Nikos, ahead of Vinbank and Mixilius Drama down in 6th. Peter Solheim is in 7th and John is in 8th. Vanquish is in 9th and Futo is in 10th. Outside of the top 10 we have South Warriors, Stam is in 12th and Valakos is in 13th. The Gort is in 14th and Senna is in 15th. Chopper is in 16th and Alexios is in 17th. I hope I'm saying your name right. Orchard David is in 18th and Sayuza is in 19th.
And I'm about to go live on YouTube myself.
Okay.
I recorded the qualifying, so...
Okay. So, a very wet start to here. So, should be interesting.
It should be interesting indeed, yes.
Paris saying he's got reserve pole. So yeah, that's a good job. Good showing. Good showing. We apologise for the outburst in qualifying again. Well, yeah, shouldn't have happened. But at the same time, frustrations have reached their peak tonight. Anywho, should be an interesting race. Wet to dry, just wet in general. Should be very interesting to see how everyone reacts. Are you live on YouTube, Zippo?
Yes, I am live and kicking.
I'm not live or kicking, but I'm still here for commentary tonight. And that is terrible. I'm gonna forget I ever said that.
Yeah, why did you say that?
I don't know. This new body is weird. So, leading us away on the chart is Hamilton in P1, ahead of Carlos in P2, just to try and get everything set up first. Then there's Mark NUFC in 3rd and Nikos in P4. Vinbank in P5, Mixilius Drama in P6. Peter Solheim in P7, ahead of John in P8. Hopefully his internet isn't an issue into turn 1, because that is always frustrating. P9 is Vanquish, ahead of Futo in P10. Then there's South Warriors in his first event in P11 and Stam in P12. Valakos in P13 and the Gort in P14. Then it should be Senna and Chopper, but they're not there. And then it's Alexios. I'm just going to stick with Alexios because I've been playing Assassin's Creed too much. In P17. Elazio in P17. And then Orchard David in P18. And there is Sayuza in P19. And I wonder, right, if Sayuza was thinking, I am going to... What is that Red Bull doing out there? I wonder if he's thought, okay, my wet setup is not quick enough to be anywhere in here. If I'm able to, as everyone's getting it wrong. What? It's the formation lap, guys. Come on! Anyway, Sayuza was thinking his wet setup is not quick enough to challenge any of these guys. He doesn't want to be out of position. If he's last, he can possibly go gently, wait for for lap 1 carnage to happen, and then he can just sail through. Potentially what might happen. Definitely is. It's a wet, dry, wet race apparently.
Message into the PlayStation chat. I'd have to ask the same question.
Yep.
I think we need to keep an eye on the guy in P12.
Yep, he was causing a little bit of trouble last week in Montreal, but it seems that this is all happening. Hopefully, we will all be well behaved into the race here. Paul, would you like to take us through lap 1, or would you rather I did it?
I'll let you take through lap 1.
Okie dokie. Ready to hear me fumble and bumble over every word possible, starting with the word bumble.
Let's hope there's no explicit language coming out in this race.
It happened at the end of the GP2 stream. So, here we go to 5 red lights. Here in France for the first time ever, the lights are out and the drivers are away in a minute, but Carlos has jumped the start, or is what happened here? It looks like Carlos has jumped the start. No, he's left the session. What has happened here?
What has happened here?
Lights are out now, so it looks like the drivers have just been deployed now, and of course India was out of position. Lots of things happening now, and suddenly John is down there. A slow start, a very confusing start. John is still sat on the grid. So there is Peter Solheim into P3, and Hamilton is still defending, but Mark NUFC is trying to go up the inside. What is that Haas doing? Anyway, Mark NUFC comes into first place, and Hamilton spun him. Peter Solheim is trying to get through. Peter Solheim into the lead. Hamilton does a dive bomb, pushing Peter Solheim off the track, and quite vivacious driving from Hamilton himself tonight. Mark NUFC coming round the outside. Sorry, Paul, if you can cut me off, just say.
No, I'm just wondering what the Red Bull is doing for a start of Stam. Carlos has been disqualified for what reason I do not know.
He left the session. I think it might have been a lag issue.
Right, I've just seen Mixlish just completely cut 3 corners again and gain quite a position advantage there.
Right. This is going down to a question of whether we should even be running Premier tonight if the drivers are going to behave like this. As Mark NUFC pulls down the inside. John has rejoined the session after lagging out. And I think if we make it a lap 5 and we're still not classified, we will cancel Premier Division tonight. And I will be very upset if we have to do this. Anywho, still on to tap 2. Here's Futo in the Red Bull trying to close up to Sayuza. Sayuza already up 12 positions into P7 after starting right at the back after quite an odd race. What was that?
We got a great start.
Oh yeah. Here's Stam Optic on the Renault of the Gort, trying to go down the inside. The Gort's hassling him, and he's hassled him. He's trying to go down the inside, and he's done it. Stam moving past in the Red Bull, able to just outdrag the Renault just enough.
That'll be the first clean move that he's made on the 2 laps so far.
Carlos GB has rejoined, but he's been disqualified. So, and I wonder if it's the same issue Lee had in GP2. Seems though that Vanquish has gone for a spin. Let's have a look at him. No, it's not. Yellow flags everywhere and lots of questionable things. And there's a Sauber. Ali in the Sauber. I'm going to stick with Ali. I think that's a cool name. Ali in the Sauber with a damaged front wing pulls down the inside, and Vanquish is just struggling in these conditions. Clearly.
Lascos is red crossing constantly. Yellow in sector 2 and 3. Who's that?
Unsure what that is. Sector 3. It's Mixilius. No, it's not. So I'm going to change to tyres, though we all know what tyres they're on right now. Sector 3, still yellow flags. Who is that?
Could be John rejoining.
That's a fair shout. going down to Stam once more in the Red Bull.
Carlos when he rejoins and can't get back into his car, that's for sure.
Peder Solheim is gone!
Peder Solheim.
Oh, lag. Lots of lag tonight in the lobby. Not sure what is happening with the connection in these drivers.
We had lag last week at Canada, didn't we?
Yeah,
now,
Montreal.
My connection's good. So I'm wondering if it's people in the lobby that are causing the problem.
This is frustrating, and lots of yellow flags everywhere. The yellow flags are just, yeah, that's John lagging out once more. I think 3 lag outs and you need to go.
I think it might be him that's causing a lot of issues here. Because Peder never lags.
No, he doesn't. On board with Stam once more, trying to make a move on Nikos. What is happening with yellow flags in Sector 3, but Stam getting a 3-second time penalty, and once again going wide on the corner. He's got a lot more speed now than the Haas, trying to go down the inside, not managing it as of yet.
Peder's left the session as well now.
Yeah, that's this. Do we call for a full restart? Because there would seem to be a botched start.
I mean, we can.
Do we have the time, though, tonight?
It's the time on whether people actually want
to. Well, we're going to continue on with this lobby for as long as we can, and I think it seems that we need to just drop a message over to John saying, okay, mate, you've lagged out 3 or 4 times now, mate, it's time to go. Which is unfortunate. We never want to ask a driver to leave due to internet, but I think we're going to have to at this point, and which is, oh, it sucks. This is the point we need a button to say Mika Häkkinen's goddammit, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm really not sure what to do. Obviously, Peder's still out. He's not
coming back by the looks of it. Solheim is not coming back with this.
To use it up to 5th now.
We're going to continue on with this lobby for as long as we feel is necessary. Mark NUSC is the fastest man on track, though, and I'm just hoping that the drivers all agree with our decision of carrying on. It seemed that the lag seemed to have sorted itself out enough. John is continuing on. But it looks like he's not lagging too much. Orchard David, though. No, okay, there we go. Yeah. Orchard David making a move on Chopper for P11 now. And Chopper just holding on to the move brilliantly, does the Englishman. But the Irishman tries to get a better run on him.
There's a message in the admin chat. I know we shouldn't be looking, but it is regarding this race.
Yeah, I've just seen that. That's why I'm considering. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am just going to sort this out now. Do excuse me for a moment, Paul. Full race restart. Leave the session, please. Leave the session. Right, I've called for a full race restart and drivers will hopefully be leaving the session now. This is unfortunate of what had just happened. But we are going to call for a full race restart, and this is going to get frustrating. If the drivers choose to continue on, I will stay in here just long enough to see if anybody actually listens.
If we do actually do a restart, I think we should pick who actually does join. Some of the driving is disgusting. I'm sorry, but it is.
It is right now.
The guy in P9 moved about 3 times down the straight to defend the guy in P10. It's just not right.
All right, Paul, if you could leave the session for me, mate. We are going to actually cut this stream and we're going to sort this out. We will restart a stream if we continue to race. If not, I will address this in a video coming up on the channel. Do excuse us for 5 minutes.